Hey guys, it's Cranky Yankee here. Today, I want to talk about prejudice. I want to talk about prejudice against a certain group of people that not a lot of people think about when it comes to equality, prejudice, not racism, because it's not anything about race. Although I will bring a person of a minority into this conversation because I think that it's something that he deals with on probably a daily basis, probably twice so much because he's this and also a minority. I want to talk about short males, like men who are of smaller stature. And I'm not talking about dwarfs. I'm not talking about anybody who has a medical condition like dwarfism or cerebral palsy or anything else that makes them short. I'm talking about people like me. I am 5'4" and 110 pounds. I'm very small. About men who don't have any kind of medical syndrome or any kind of medical condition that makes them short. They're just short. It's just that was the genetic roll of the dice that they got. That's me. My mother is not quite 5 feet tall, which is fine. Women are supposed to be small. Like, petite women, whatever. Women are supposed to be small and petite. It's just kind of how society views women. Men are supposed to be tall. They're supposed to be 6 feet tall, big, burly dudes, be able to protect the women or whatever. Something I've had to deal with on my entire life is being underestimated, being picked on, being thought that I can't do certain tasks at work or certain jobs because of my size. Now, I was at work last week. A coworker of mine, I was expressing my desire to learn kitchen. Now, kitchen is a station at my job where we cook fried chicken and other fried foods and whatnot. We have 3 stations. We have traditional, which is your lunch meats and your cheeses. You have sub bar, which is pretty self-explanatory. We make subs and individual pizzas, and then we have kitchen, which is where you cook the fried chicken. You cook the we have the cod fillets and onion rings and what have you, things like that. It's the only station left that I don't learn. I have not learned how to do kitchen yet. Now, I haven't really wanted to because it's a lot of work, and sometimes there are a lot of customers who will say some pretty nasty things to you if you don't have chicken ready when they want it. Which I think is stupid, but it happens. But I also am a team player. I also want to be full-time, and I understand that in order for me to be able to continue to be a good team player and to be more of an asset at my job is I need to learn the station, and I want to. Reluctantly, I want to. I told my boss, he's like, because I was talking about there was a day where he'd closed and he had to stay because we had a call out. He had to stay and work chicken because there was nobody else on that shift that could do it. And I looked at him, I was like, I said, man, you should probably teach me how to do kitchen. He goes, I didn't know you wanted to do kitchen. And I looked at him like, I don't really, but in situations like this, I feel like it'd be useful for me to know. I said, no, I don't really want to work chicken. No, I don't really want to do it every day, but I feel like I would be even more of an asset at work if I'm trained. Even if it's just as, hey, you're the only one left today that knows how to do this, so I'm going to have you work kitchen because there's nobody else that can do it. And rather than calling somebody in or having a manager stay, and possibly get overtime, because my job's not a big fan of overtime. They get really mad if anybody gets overtime. That's not approved. And that was my thing. Another coworker, I was telling another coworker the other day about this, and they had made the comment like, "Oh, I'd love to see you do kitchen. You have to get a step stool to put the rotisserie oven back together." And they didn't mean anything by it. I know that they weren't intending to say anything hurtful, but it hurt me a little bit. And I'm thinking to myself, really? This fucking shit? I've dealt with this my whole life, and I'm a man where I'm not real big. But I've learned ways to do tasks that otherwise most people wouldn't think I'd be able to do simply because I'm small. Now, we do trash every night. We bring trash bags out. There's a trash can next to the kitchen that is usually filled with breading and raw chicken and various other things, and generally it's quite heavy. That bag has weighed, I'm not even joking, probably upwards of 80 to 100 pounds at times. I will bring that entire trash can back to the compactor myself alone. I will lift that entire trash can up, which will weigh close to 100 pounds. And keep in mind, the trash compactor is 4 feet off the ground. It's about chest height to me, so it's about here, right? The bottom, the very floor or bottom of the opening is about chest height to me. So I gotta lift this thing basically up over my head. I do it, no problem, because I know how to lift. And when I mean lift, you lift with your legs, not with your back. Like, I've worked warehouses. I've worked I have a video in here I put up recently of, I used to work at a recycling center. I've learned all of these skills and how to do this stuff properly without injuring myself over years and years and years of work and years of doing things where I have to lift heavy items. I like jobs like that. I've generally worked jobs that require me to be outside most of the time lifting heavy things. I like doing jobs like that. I don't go to the gym. I don't jog, I don't exercise, so I thought to myself, if I just do jobs that are physical, I'm not gonna have to work out. I'll be able to stay in shape just by going to work every day, and that works really well. I'm in pretty decent shape for my age and my size. I mean, like I said, I'm 5'4", I'm 110 pounds. I'm solid muscle. I'm not jacked. I'm not some muscle-bound freak. You can see, look at my arms. I mean, I'm not real muscular, but the weight I have is 90%, 95, 99, no, something like that. It's mostly muscle. I've got very little body fat. So the size that I have is pretty much all my strength is my entire body. Now, being short, it's really rough, especially when it comes to relationships, because girls don't want guys my size. Not many. Most girls will be like, they're my size or smaller, 5'1", 5'2", 5'3", little petite things, and they date these 6.5 foot tall behemoths. And a lot of these guys that are that big, I'm not saying all of them, but I know I've had several friends that generally, specifically date guys that are quite large. My experience, and maybe it's just they don't know how to pick them, but in my experience, a lot of those guys are assholes. They're controlling, they're possessive, they're, those musclehead fucking frat boy, bully, whatever the fuck you want to call them kind of guys. And they date these men. And they talk to me, because I'm always the friend, and I'm always in the friend zone. I'm always the friend that they always talk to when they have problems, and they always come to, and they love me, but not in a romantic way, and that's whatever. I hate being that, and that's kind of a whole nother story for another video. But, and they claim, oh, I'm so sick of assholes and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, why don't you date me? No, you're too small. You're too short. I don't, you're not my type. That might be true, but I feel like a lot of it, the reason why I'm not their type has everything to do with my stature and nothing to do with my personality or me as a person. And, there's not a lot I can do about that to change it. That's just an unfortunate thing. But it really bugs me that as a small or short individual of the male persuasion, that I'm expected to be a certain way, to be a certain size, to be attractive to women. And that's just fucking wrong. That's not right. And I have to wonder if tall women have the same issue. Like, I don't know many tall women, and in the ones that I've met, I've never actually asked. But I have to wonder if tall women have the same problem. Because women are expected to be short, petite, tiny little things. They're not meant to be 6 feet tall. And I've met some women that are like 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, that are tall, that are stunning. Absolutely fucking beautiful. And when I was younger, I would never date a girl taller than me. I was very, very picky. I wanted a girl that was my height or shorter. And it just happens to be that I personally am attracted to petite women. It's just why I'm attracted to. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing, I need to branch out and expand. I need to broaden my criteria. Because I realize now with all these girls that have been not chosen to date me or even give me a chance because of my build, I realize that they're missing out on dating somebody like me, who I'm actually a really, really awesome guy. I'm very caring. I'm very generous. I'm incredibly loyal. I've got a huge heart, and I'm one of those guys. If you're my girlfriend, you're my fucking girlfriend. I'm not gonna even look at another woman. Okay, that's not true. I'll look at other women, but I'm not gonna I'm more the guy to be like, oh, look, she's really pretty. And I'll point it out to her. So I'm like, hey, look, this girl's really attractive. And I do that, and I don't mean to be offensive. I'm just like, oh, look, I appreciate beauty. And if my girlfriend look at me and says, oh, wow, look, hey, check him out. He's really, look at it. He's got a nice, he's built really well. as me as a guy, and this is going to sound a little gay to some people, which is stupid, because if you think this sounds gay, then you're probably fucking gay yourself, and you're trying to hide it. I can look at another man and say, yeah, he's attractive. He's a good-looking guy. Ryan Reynolds is fucking beautiful. And that's just not only because of the fact that I love Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds is one of my favorite actors, but Ryan Reynolds is an attractive man. Ryan Gosling is an attractive man. Robert Downey Jr. is an attractive man. Hugh Jackman is an attractive man. These guys are very attractive men. I understand that. I'm not gay. Do I want to go and make out with them and kiss them? No. But I can appreciate attractive people, both of the female and male persuasion. You know, and it just frustrates me. Because I'm at this point in my life now where I'm single. You know, I got out of a relationship recently with my ex, with my baby mama. We're still very good friends, which is good because we kind of have to be for our kid. Like, I don't want my son to see us fighting and yelling and cursing at each other and calling each other names, because that's just going to put him in therapy when he's older. My self-confidence is very low because I've dealt this whole life with me being short and me being underestimated and me not being viewed as a whole person because of my size. I always wanted to play hockey as a kid. I didn't because my mom couldn't afford it, but also I probably am not big enough to play hockey. A lot of people, especially the NHL, this is the craziest part. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves with NHL is they're like, oh, he's not big enough to play. He's not big enough to play hockey. He's not big enough to play in the NHL. You know, they're looking at guys like 5'9", 5'10", and they say he's not big enough. He's average sized. He's about average size for a man, and that's too small. And it's because these people, not only in the NHL, but just in general, think that men need to be 6.5 feet tall to be a man. You gotta be 6 feet tall and 250 pounds to, like, be a man, to be a real man, or whatever the fuck you want to say. You know, and I'd have to wonder, like, I was talking about an actor before. Now, think about this. Kevin Hart, comedian, right? Black comedian. Hilarious guy. I like Kevin Hart. He's a funny guy. He's like 5'5", 5'6". He's not much bigger than me. So I have to think that and here's the kicker, he's black. Black people, as a rule, people expect black people to be like 7 feet tall. So I'm like, how the fuck does he, I would love to hear his take on this subject. See what it's like being not only growing up being a short man, but also growing up being a black man, because he's short. So people are going to think that, well, he's not, his opinion isn't valid because he's just small, like, you know, whatever. You know, his opinion isn't valid. And also, he's black. Well, you're black. Why the hell are you 5.5 feet tall? What the fuck did you do? Like, you're supposed to be, like, you know, NBA fucking size. This big, tall behemoth guy because you're black. Because as a general rule, black guys are tall. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm saying that, you know, I mean, look at most of the black men you see. Actually, that's not true. Most of the ones I see around here are probably about average size. But the opinion of society, so to say, is that black men are tall. They're really big dudes. And he's not. And it's just one of the things that aggravates me, and it's just hard to deal with. And I just think it's a group of people that we every day, as people, and I've been guilty of this too, just because I make jokes, but people every day are guilty of this, saying comments that are slightly rude, slightly derogatory, and slightly mean towards people of smaller stature. And the crazy thing about it is most people say it, they don't even realize they do it, and they don't mean to. And like when I was growing up, you know, I got picked on a lot when I was in high school and middle school from guys that are bigger than me. And I had a couple of friends that were really big too, and they were friends of mine. And they'll go, oh, anybody mess with you, just let me know, I'll fucking kick their ass. And I'm like, thinking about something like, you just did it. That right there is playing into that prejudice. Thinking that, oh, because I'm 5'4" and 110 pounds, I can't win a fight. I've been in 3 fights in my life, and I won all 3 of them. All 3 of them were against guys twice my size. I don't fuck around. If you're gonna fight me, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win any way I have to. And if that means kicking you in the fucking nuts, I'm gonna kick you in the nuts and I'm gonna jump on you and pound you in the face. I've done it before. In real life, there's no such thing as a fair fight. If somebody gets in a fight with you, you win any way that you can. Especially if you're small like me. Just a few words of wisdom from the Cranky Yankee. I hope y'all like this. Hope y'all listen to it. I'm getting up on 50 minutes. If you want me to expand, I'll make another video. But for now, see you later. Like and subscribe if you're coming through. Have a wonderful day.